What's up, Dreamedia family? This is Zach. Welcome back to another episode. Guys, today we are going to be discussing the brand new JVC NZ800 and NZ900. As you've seen on our channel over the years, we have installed thousands of JVC projectors, and their latest iteration, the JVC NZ7, NZ8, and NZ9, were absolute showstoppers. So I cannot wait to bring on the team from JVC to give us the lowdown on how they've made these units even better. The JVCs with their DLA technology, frame adapt HDR, their home theater optimizer tool, as well as the fact that their laser is just absolutely phenomenal and very hard to beat. We've been selling JVC all around the country and couldn't be more honored to now cover their brand new projectors. We're going to be going live on Shane Lee's channel. Shane Lee is an amazing YouTube influencer that gives his honest opinion about products that we sell here at Dreamedia, in addition to reviewing movies and covering their audio performance. So if you're not already subscribed to Shane Lee's channel, be sure to head over there and show him some love. All right, guys, well, let's get into this video.
What's up, guys? Welcome to a morning edition of the Home Theater Hangout with Dreamedia and Jamie from JVC.
Hey guys.
I guess you
What's
guys
up,
know what
guys?
we're going to talk about today. Yeah, man, no problem. So this is it. It's been a few years now since we did this officially for the NZ8 series and 7. But now we're moving on. We're moving on now to the 800 and the 900.
Yes.
Yeah.
If the JVCs couldn't get any better, now
Yes.
they are.
They are,
Yes,
yes. We didn't think it was possible, but it is.
I know you guys have absolutely crushed it with your DLA technology, the frame adapt HDR, just an absolutely phenomenal unit with the previous generation. So I cannot be more excited to hear about these new models.
Yeah. We're super excited. So we announced yesterday, first thing in the morning, 2 new models in the Precision lineup. So as you mentioned, Zach, the 8 and the 9, we're going to have 2 new models becoming the 800 and the 900. We're excited to launch these. There's lots of new features. There's a lot of new things that are built in. Cosmetically, they look the same, but internally, they're vastly improved. And we're super excited. There's a lot of new features. We can kind of talk through some of those cool features that we have to offer. Just in case you're wondering, when can I buy? June timeframe is when we're thinking, or when we're planning on. End of June is the timeframe for that. So obviously, Dreamedia is a close partner with JVC. We're excited to get these new models out into customers' homes. I don't know if you guys want to start with the 900 and kind of talk about those features. Or if we
I'd
want
love for you to just introduce some of the core features about
Sure.
JVC projectors that make them unique, such as DLA, 8K e-shift, the fluorescent laser, just what you guys do best and why you are the industry leader in projection. I think would be a great way to start for people who just aren't familiar with the brand. Obviously, we're huge fans of here at Dreamedia, and we'll kind of deep dive into some of the nuances of the specifications. But I think just a general introduction, Jamie, would be fantastic.
Yeah, perfect. So right now, JVC DLA technology is proprietary to our brand, right? We have DLA in this particular model series, a 3rd generation chipset. So these DLA chipsets are designed to really provide the best picture quality. As you mentioned, Zach, we are a leader in the industry. Also, in addition to home theater projectors, JVC is very busy on the simulator side of the business too. So a lot of this technology that our engineers are developing, really to provide that clear contrast, the clear images on the screen, which are giving you that depth perception. That technology is also being used in a lot of other technology within the simulator side. So we're working with a lot of the main airlines to help train those pilots with our technology within those simulators. So that comes into our home theater technology. So not only are we using DLA chips, but you mentioned AK e-shift. So AK e-shift, we actually have AK e-shiftX in this particular product. It's a new AK scaling engine. So essentially what that means is we have a 4K native chipset in our projectors, these DLA chipsets, which is, like I mentioned, the third generation. So another improvement in this new lineup. And essentially what those chipsets are doing, native 4K, we're scaling to 8K on the screen. So we have a technology with this scaling engine that allows us to take the pixels and essentially do a four-way shift with those pixels. So AK e-shiftX is a four-way shift, and it creates over 35 million pixels at the screen. It's doing it very quickly. Obviously, with that many pixels, you're going to get a lot of detail. So when you're looking at, specifics, different tones of things, you're going to see a lot more detail just overall in all of the picture quality. And then in addition, you mentioned the laser. So we're using a fluorescent phosphor laser in this product. It is a new version of it, which allows us to get more lumen output on this product as well. So previously in the DLA-NZ9, we only had 3,000 lumens, which obviously is still a fabulous amount of lumens. But with this new laser technology, we're able to get 3,300 lumens. So even more brightness within that particular 900 series. In the 8, same thing. We are going from the 8, which was 2,500 lumens. With this new laser, we are going to be able to achieve 2,700 lumens with the 800. So between those things, obviously, more lumens, more brightness on the screen. I think customers really enjoy that as well. The good thing is, with our laser, we also allow customers with, obviously everybody has a different mindset of what they want as far as brightness. We do have 101 laser adjustments. So you can adjust that laser for complete brightness, obviously max output. But if you prefer something that's not as bright, in a home theater setting where you have complete light control, you can back that laser off and you can actually set it in 1 unit increments. So that's also kind of nice because each customer I know with our product likes to set it, to specific settings. So that's also really awesome. I do want to mention one thing too with our lenses. So JVC, for our products specifically, with these models, we use all glass lenses. So there are a lot of lenses with some other type of acrylic
like an acrylic,
and things like that. So we, honestly, producing the best picture quality is an array of things, right? Lots of different features built into the projector, but if you don't have the right lens, you're not going to be able to get the right picture at the screen. So the lens is really, really important here. And you can see, thanks Shane for putting that up. We got, 2 different sizes here. So in the 900, we actually have 100 millimeter lens, which is amazing. Obviously, there's a lot of different components within that specific grouping. I'm just going to double check my notes here so I have the right lenses. So with the 100 millimeter lens, we have an 18 element, 16 group set of lenses, which obviously gives us 8K resolution with the 8K eShiftX at the screen. So if you're a customer that loves bigger screen sizes, this is the kind of product that you really need to achieve the clarity on the other side of the screen. When you're maxing out your screen size, you need that larger lens size. So it's really, really important you have that. The cool thing about our technology as well, within our projectors, we have a motorized lens shift. So if you have some limitations where you can only go, certain distance, we have 100% vertical lens shift with the motorized lens shift in this particular model. So the 900 is going to have a lot more flexibility. So 100% vertical lens shift, 43% horizontal. So, which is fabulous because some of the other models on the market have manual lens shift and things you got to get up on the projector for. Ours is all done through the remote control. You can easily move it across. You don't need to keystone or anything like that. So you're keeping the image very accurate as it's coming to the screen. And then also with the 800, so the 800, we have a 65 millimeter lens. So slight change, obviously, in the size of the lens when you're looking at, the 2 different models. But the 65 millimeter actually has a 17 element, 15 group all glass lens as well. So you're still getting that, picture quality that you come to expect with JVC. This one has a little bit, obviously due to the lens size, there is a little bit more limitation on the vertical lens shift, but it's 80% vertical and 34% horizontal. So, obviously still flexibility there. But yeah, lots of different features within the product. I know, Zach, you mentioned earlier the frame adapt HDR. So that's really big for JVC with our processing and what we're able to accomplish with the images. So this is really important as well, just because it is technology that's built into our projector. So it's not that you need anything external. So the nice thing is JVC, you can actually put everything automatic. So whenever the projector itself is receiving HDR content, it's going to automatically pull that content and take the HDR frame by frame or scene by scene for tone mapping. So it's really going to give you the best ability to see more detail. Obviously, within that, you want to create brighter images, more colorful images. I do want to mention this particular line of projectors will also achieve over 100% DCI-P3 color space. So not only are you getting the details with the HDR content, but you're also getting the color scope. So that provides a lot more detail. So if you have, shades of things, you're going to see a lot more of those graded shades of color within the actual image as well. So that's really exciting. I know Shane put up here some of these new things as well. So there are some new features that we're incorporating, obviously, to the tone mapping that we're working with on the images on the screen. So I do want to mention the deeper black. So JVC is already known for rich contrast. So contrast.
Yeah, how are they going to get blacker? You guys have really been the pioneer.
We are. Yeah, go ahead.
Frame adapt HDR, and it's been absolutely wonderful to see over the years, generation after generation, this improve. I mean, I remember just when we had scene by scene frame adapt HDR, I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't need a Lumagen anymore. I don't need a Mad VR, like some of these higher end processors that are necessary for other model projectors. You guys give to your customers for free.
Yes.
So I'm very
excited. You said that, Zach. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this next generation, tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, to your point, the cool thing is there are external processors, as you mentioned, on the market. So some of our competitors are using these products, which, don't get me wrong, they are great. Obviously, there are certain types of situations where you need that external processor. But the nice thing is this frame adapt HDR for picture quality is really like the product that you're seeing with those external processors. So not only are we doing frame adapt HDR Gen 2, which is available also on, I should mention, for customers that recently purchased our newest models, we do have that available as a firmware upgrade. So that is on our website. We did do that, offered customers that as a free option. So I did want to mention that if we have customers online that maybe have our current projector, that frame adapt HDR 2 is available via a firmware update. But moving forward, it's going to be obviously built into all of our new projectors. But
that's one thing, Jamie, that I really love. You guys always, with every generation throughout year by year, as you release a new model, you'll improve those models with free updates. I mean, it's always impressed me that you guys continue, because typically you'll run a model for about 3 years, and pretty consistently throughout the lifespan of that unit, you're consistently improving. You don't just drop the model on the market and leave it. You're always looking to improve. And I really appreciate that because it makes our customers feel like they're not being hung out to dry. You're trying to make the absolute most out of those units. So it goes a long way with us here as a dealer.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, honestly, Zach, our engineers are constantly working to improve. Like you mentioned earlier, who knew we could make these even better than they already are? So we're excited about that fact. And I think, we care about our customers. We want to do whatever we possibly can to make the customer experience with JVC truly the best, right? Between yourself as a dealer, between us on the backside with our support and our team. I mean, we have a fabulous team across the country that works tirelessly to make sure our customers are taken care of. So that is ultimately the goal. Hopefully, obviously everybody feels the same way when they think about JVC and projection. But to answer your question, so we have frame adapt HDR, but we're also adding in 2 new modes. So we're actually going to do a deep black function mode, which is down there in the right-hand side that Shane just put up for us. Thank you. So this is just really an added feature for frame adapt HDR. So it's going to create a new algorithm that's going to just make those black tones richer. So obviously more enhanced. With that new generation of DLA chips, we're able to do that. Obviously there's different modes. So you can turn these modes on and off, which is awesome too. We obviously recommend it being on because you're going to get that richer gradation. I do want to mention also the display master luminance as well. So it's creating a better experience overall for the metadata that's being pulled in. So for any type of HDR content that you're playing, and obviously HDR content is becoming more standardized in the industry. So we're seeing a lot more of this content available for customers, but it's really going to obviously create more of an improved tone mapping with the frame adapt HDR. So these are all added features that are just going to enhance that image quality. I do want to call out, and I don't think I've mentioned this yet, our new native contrast. So this is actually something that we've been working on. So for the DLA-NZ9, we currently have 100,000 to 1 native contrast, right? With the new 900, we're actually going to have 150,000 to 1 native contrast, so a 50% improvement. So wow. That is huge for JVC, and I think that's where you're really going to see the difference in picture quality. I know myself personally just saw the model yesterday with the announcement, and there were things that I thought, obviously I thought the projector looked amazing, but there were things in certain content that we have been reviewing over and over and over with the 9 that I saw more detail in the 900. Just again, the different colors, the different contrast details. There was also just more detail specifically. For instance, there was a scene on Multiverse Madness, one of the new movies from the I forget the series now, but
Doctor Strange in the MCU.
Yes, thank you. And there was a scene where we look at the back of his cape, and I was pointing actually out to one of my my coworkers. I was like, look at the detail on the back of his cape, things I never saw before. And it was amazing, just that, I guess, things that you noticed, obviously now with the enhancements that JVC was able to, do with these specific new models with all the new enhanced features. So it was super exciting. Real quick on the 8, we had contrast of 80,000 to 1. On the new 800, we're going to have 100,000 to 1 contrast. So, contrast is definitely improved, which is really exciting. We're super excited to see the improvements, and visually customers you'll be able to see a difference. Definitely when you're viewing different content. So it is really exciting. We're excited to see obviously customers' reception and things that are going on. I saw a question there with a price point. So retail price point on the 900 is $25,999. And then the 800 is going to be $15,999. So obviously, these are
that's incredible. So you're keeping the same price point that you had for the previous generation.
Correct. Yes, we are.
Very nice.
And do they support 3D, Jamie?
Yes, they do support 3D. Both models will support 3D.
Awesome.
So we have the same glass in the units that we had previously.
Yep.
Correct? The 100 millimeter and the 65 millimeter.
Is there any changes to the lens, or they're the same lens?
Yes. No, the lenses are improved. Let me just look at my notes. Sorry, I'm still learning all the features, Kellen.
I really love how with JVC projectors, we can flush mount these up against the ceiling, kind of going back on what you were saying earlier, Jamie. As a custom integrator, we're always trying to, provide the cleanest possible installation, and these JVCs and their e-shift really allows us to butt them up as close as possible to the ceiling, get them really far back in the room so that as you're enjoying your movie, if you need to get up for popcorn or anything like that, you're not walking in front of your picture. So that e-shift is an incredible feature. I wanted to talk a little bit more also about the 8K e-shift X and exactly how that is accomplished. If we could put up a visual representation, I think what a lot of our customers are wondering is either we got customers that are in the 4K e-shift world still, or maybe they have the new 8K e-shift models and they're like, why should I upgrade? So I just want to look at the improvements with the 8K e-shift X, and I guess maybe you could share some of your thoughts, Jamie, on your initial impressions on the image quality. Obviously, you said with the HDR, it's been improved dramatically. I'm sure the sharpness with the 8K e-shift X is also improved. I did a video when you guys first came out with 8K e-shift because everybody was asking me, like, is it a gimmick, right? And I think they were asking the exact same question when 4K e-shift came out, when we had like the old 440, 540, you know, like those first initial 4K e-shift projectors. And my videos, I ended up doing side-by-sides for them of with and without, and it was definitely notable. But I think people are gonna question the X, like how substantial is the gain going to be? So maybe you can add a little insight there and explain it in a little bit more depth.
Yeah, definitely, Zach. So with JVC, we have two different e-shift technologies. So we have essentially 8K e-shift, which is actually on our DLA-NZ7. So this is a two-way shift. So essentially, I don't know if you want to pop that image up real fast, Shane, the one that you had there, the lower right hand, because that actually is kind of on the bottom right here. You can see you have, and this is obviously exaggerated a little bit with the pixels. So figure you have, you know, a box with 4K pixel count there in the bottom left or bottom right hand corner with the 4 pixels. So obviously those are large. Pixels are very tiny. With our 8K e-shift X technology, it's a two-way shift. So essentially it's essentially doubling the pixel count. So with 8K e-shift, you have essentially over 17 million pixels at the screen. The 8K e-shift X takes it to the next level. So it's a four-way shift. So essentially you're creating 4 pixels where 1 pixel is. And this actually is creating over 35 million pixels. So there is a difference, Zach, between the two, right? So our higher end models are definitely going to have more optics, faster processing speeds, obviously to create the number of pixels that we need at the screen. So that's really going to provide you with more clarity with the images. And that 8K e-shift X, yes, to your point, when you shoot them side by side, you are going to get a lot more detail because of the pixel count that we are able to achieve with the 8K e-shift X technology. So the resolution, what is actually on that display, is going to be substantially different than, you know, just native 4K or obviously 8K e-shift, because essentially it's 4 times the amount of pixels that you're seeing with native 4K. So definitely is going to be.
And I mean, it's amazing whenever you go to turn it on and off, like it's apparent, you know? I think until you've seen it turned on and off, you don't realize how important and how big of a difference it makes, especially when you get in that 150 inch plus size, which the 900 will be good for. What would we say, Kellen? 170, 180 inch displays. Where do you think that'll cap out, guys?
Oh, Kellen, you're on mute, I think.
Yeah, sorry. I had the air conditioner going and everything.
We got Kellen, our national sales director, in here. I'd like him to come in and just add a little bit of insight.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's some other things that come into play, right? What is the throw distance that's going to be for the projector? You know, if you're going to use an acoustically transparent screen, obviously the gain is going to be a little bit lower than if you can use like a Screen Innovations Pure White or like a Studio Tech 130 from Stewart. Those will have like a 1.3 gain. So, I mean, I think there's some other factors, but if you're looking at something that's going to reach or go beyond a 150 diagonal 16 by 9 aspect ratio, you'll likely want to be looking at the NZ900. And I don't really know, I guess off the top of my head, what that'll cap at with those determining factors. But
Do you know, Jamie?
Honestly, it's going to really depend on the room, right? Like light control, what's available. Screen obviously makes a big impact. I did want to mention, just tying on to Kellen's point about screen sizes. So JVC also has lens memory. I know I mentioned, the different things with motorized lens shift earlier, but we also have lens memory. So if you're a customer that loves movies, that wants that 2:3:5 aspect ratio with your screen, JVC can actually, with our lens memory, push the black bars off the top and the bottom of the screen so you can really maximize the screen and maximize the content that you're seeing. So you're not going to get, obviously with 16 by 9, if you have specific aspect ratios and you're watching movies, you will see black bars. But with a 2:3:5, if you're watching movie content and you want to stretch that, our lens memory on our projectors, we have 10 different modes. Each one can be fully customized, so you can set them up however you'd like. So that's kind of an awesome feature too. I know Kellen and his team does different aspect ratios all the time for customers. If they're totally into movies and that's all they want to watch, our lens memories are really great for, a customer like that as well. I'm trying to think of something. I was going to mention too, there is a new mode, Zach. So I know some of us have young kids that love animation, right? The bright, the animated features of everything. One of our other new modes, there it is right there, Shane. Yeah, the vivid picture mode. So this is kind of nice too, because obviously we've done a lot of talking with HDR content, right? HDR content. This new vivid picture mode is actually going to be great for SDR content. So there is obviously still SDR content out there. People want these vibrant, vivid images as though they're watching, a TV, but they also want that super large screen, which is what is so great about home theater overall, right? Creating that immersive experience. So this new vivid picture mode is awesome because it's going to be really designed for SDR animated works. So those animated works, especially like animated movies that kids really love with the colorful scenes. And you're going to see a drastic difference in this SDR content, especially streaming, right? Some of the movies out there are still, streaming services that all of us use, right? Apple 4K TV, Netflix, and things like that. So this vivid picture mode is also going to be enhanced for not only animation, but also gaming, things like that. So that's also a cool new feature we're going to incorporate within our projectors as well. I just want to touch on that because I know that's also
I love that. I mean, I got a 3-year-old, and pretty much all we watch is that type of content.
Yes.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. Oh, Paw Patrol. That's it. Yes. My nephew loves Paw Patrol. He goes around and says all the sayings on Paw Patrol. Yes. So
be there on the double.
Yeah. He's like, I'm on it. I'm like, where's that from? My sister's like, oh, Paw Patrol. I was like, okay. My kids are girls, so they're not into Paw Patrol, but it is cute to see. That's another exciting feature as well. I don't want to miss anything, so I'm trying to make sure we touch on all of the key.
I think we've covered pretty much everything. We've discussed what makes.
I was going to ask you a question on the deep black. Is that more of like a contrast enhancement, or is that a new algorithm that is written on the chip level of the new DLA?
I believe it is a new algorithm that they actually added. I'd have to double check. We're still kind of learning all of the new features on our side, but I do believe it is a new algorithm that they're actually using. Yes, right there with the new algorithm to further enhance the tone. So yes, it's further enhancing, obviously HDR content, but yes, it is an algorithm built into the chipset.
So that's where you're likely getting more of the contrast out of in general. Is just obviously the lenses have a lot to do with contrast and how colors are displayed, but the new Gen 3 DLA chips are obviously giving you guys a boost in contrast as well. So that's awesome. Cool.
Yes.
Now, these do have the color filters still intact, right?
Yes, we do have the high, I'm drawing a blank. There is different optics within these two projectors, high contrast optics built into these projectors as well, so that we're able to achieve that contrast. So yes, they do have enhanced contrast optics over the other laser model, the DLA-NZ7.
Would the NZ800 be comparable to last year's NZ9 minus the bigger lens?
Yeah, so outside of the lens, so the NZ9 last year, the 800 is actually able to achieve the same contrast level that we had on the 9. So the current 9 is 100,000 to 1. So we are enhancing the contrast on the 800. So we're able to achieve that. Obviously, the 800 has a lot more of these new features built into it. So picture-wise, again, you're going to get a lot of those enhancements. Again, the lens is really the primary differentiation, and then the lumen output. So last year's NZ9 was a 3,000 lumen output. The new 800 is a 2,700 lumen output. So you have obviously a difference in lumen output, and then you also have the difference in the size of the lens.
Yeah, so whenever you guys
obviously
are looking to determine which projector is right for you, you're considering different models, reach out and talk with Kellen, talk with one of our specialists about what product's right for you and your budget. You know, we don't just sell projectors, guys. We sell the entire system. Everything from speakers, amplifiers, HDMI cables, everything in between that you need. And like Jamie was talking about, even with things like their lens memory, where we can automatically program into your universal remote to switch between movie watching and like SDR 16:9 content or whatever. We can add things like a MadVR to that on top of it to do all of that aspect ratio switching for you automatically, so you don't even have to hit a single button. In addition to helping you figure out like things like foot lamberts. Kellen, you want to talk a little bit about how we calculate foot lamberts and how we get the appropriate projector to maximize their HDR delivery on screen for their exact room?
Yeah, it's kind of what touched on earlier on, you know, what would be the max size that the NZ900 could do, right? It's taking the factors of, you know, the lumen output that's given by the manufacturer, which JVC does a phenomenal job of, I think, underselling themselves sometimes on the lumen output, but you can always rely on their numbers. They oftentimes exceed that number, I guess is what I was trying to say. And so what we're doing there is we're taking the calculated data of the light output from the projector based on how far that projector is going to be away, calculated by what size screen, aspect ratio, and material we're using. And so what we're looking for there is an appropriate number or give and take on what we recommend for SDR and HDR content. And that's going to give you basically whenever you have those factors in play, you're going to be able to simulate the brightness coming out of the projector that's being reflected off the screen. We have a certain threshold there that we would like to see for HDR and SDR content. And if you are under that, you may need to move the projector closer and weigh out the cons of, well, now it's over my head rather than 3 foot behind me, or maybe drop down to a smaller screen. So that's where, we really try not to compromise at all, but oftentimes we do make the best decision to give you the best performance, and just, overall the experience is what we're going for, right? It's, I think sometimes a lot of people get lost in the equipment, and where we can not always have to do the very best equipment, but we can give you the best experience. So.
I love that, Kellen. Well said. Yeah, we're here to help, guys. We want to make sure, these systems are implemented perfectly from day one and make it easy to use, right? I think one thing that maybe consumers that are interested in purchasing the 900 series, obviously it's the flagship and they're trying to really push the limits on what the unit's capable of, may want to consider.
Oh, there he goes.
Uh-oh, we lost Zach.
You were doing good for a while there, Zach.
Too much of a good thing.
Yes.
Kellen, does Dreamedia do interiors?
Interiors, yeah. So
I apologize, guys. I have Xfinity guy coming this afternoon. I've been having some dropouts. Anyways, I was hoping, Kellen, that you could share for consumers that are looking at this flagship model, the 900. They're obviously trying to maximize the potential of the system, get the biggest screen possible. I'd like you to talk about how you can take it even a step further with like the Panamorph DCR lens to get even more light output, and how that works with CinemaScope screens and how you compare that with a Mad VR. Kind of walk through that flagship setup that we've been doing a lot here recently.
Yeah, so another great thing that JVC has continued to do with these models as well is, I would assume, and Jamie, if you can confirm, but since you're utilizing essentially the same chassis as
Yes.
last generation,
Mhm.
the anamorphic lenses that you may have already purchased or looking to purchase, they're going to work with the next generation as well. So kudos to JVC for doing that. So yeah, I mean, what Zach says is if you're looking to really maximize and get the cinema experience, you can take the NZ900. You can add the anamorphic lens. What that's going to do is really, it's another lens that goes in front of the projector. It's really going to expand the image to where you're maximizing the pixels, and you're going to get a brightness increase because of that, somewhere around 28 to 30%. And then what you're going to do is basically squeeze out the image to fill the CinemaScope ratio 239, 235, 240. And then if you wanted to add another layer on top of that, the Mad VR, to where if movies have different aspect ratios that switch in between, you know some of the things that they do very well in terms of the processing side. Those are some things that you can do, not necessarily that you have to do. Some things that you really need to nail down first is, you're always going to be limited by the projector's performance to begin with. So I often get questions, can I do a Mad VR on top of another projector? Well, yeah, you could, but you're still going to be limited by that projector's performance. I would tip that money into, the NZ800 or the NZ900, then work towards maybe adding the accessories on top of that. Because if you start with a lesser projector, you're only going to be able to really squeeze out the performance that projector is capable of to begin with. Very seldomly does the ever surpass the JVC, or a greater projector, just throwing these added accessories on top of it.
No, that's really important to note, Kellen. I mean, one thing that I experienced recently with a good friend of mine, a customer here in Colorado, is we put an NZ9 into his theater room down in the basement, and he got used to it. He thought he was getting a good image back at his Texas home with a Barco, but it was actually only outputting UHD. If you don't have the full 4x4x4 chroma and these crazy, frame adapt HDR advancements that the JVCs have built in, there's only so much you can do,
Yes.
So it really is important that you start with a quality projector, and the JVCs have been leading the way for many years. So even whenever, we put in a model that's, say we just put in an NZ9, and obviously now the NZ900s are released, I feel confident that NZ9 is still going to be a solid investment for the customer for a good 5 to 10 years, because you guys really are ahead of the curve always with every generation release.
We try to do that. Actually, I do on that point, Zach, that's a good lead in. I do want to mention too our HDMI connectivity. So JVC actually has 48 gigabit HDMI ports on the back, 2 of them. So both HDMI ports are 48 gigabits. We can accept 8K 60p, and we can accept 4K 120p. So as far as advancements, these are the top speed projectors on the line. So in line, I should say, on the market, actually. So our projectors are, like you mentioned, kind of, for the future. Obviously, 8K content isn't necessarily widely available. You need servers and things like that to reproduce it through a projector. But JVC can accept an 8K signal. So our projection, our projectors are going to be 8K inputs. Again, both inputs. So gaming. So if you have customers that are really into gaming, where some of these newer consoles that are out there on the market need to have these higher speeds to keep up with the refresh rates, so that you're not seeing any latency when you're, controlling your remote and what you're actually physically seeing on your huge screen in your theater room. These are really designed to help with that as well. So, Kellen mentioned accessories. So, cables are going to be super important to be able to output that type of speed. So obviously you need to make sure they're Ultra HD certified. And obviously the team at Dreamedia is very familiar with that. So they're going to make sure you're connected correctly. So you're not going to have any issues between, what you're trying to input with your source and what you're actually getting out of it as well on the screen. So that's really important too. We're really excited about that. That is actually on our current lineup. That is a continuing aspect of our new lineup as well. I also wanted to say, which I didn't mention before, is warranty. So I know customers obviously are making huge investments in our product, right? We're one of the higher end projector lines out there. So rest assured, JVC has a 3-year warranty. And the great thing that we're able to do, just based on obviously the longevity of our projectors. I know you mentioned the 5-10 years, Zach. Some of our customers have not upgraded their projectors in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. I've got customers from a decade ago that are still rocking those JVCs.
Yes.
They've been through a couple bulbs, but they're still running.
Yes. So those are obviously, that's, the customer that's had it 5-10 years. Those are the upgrades. Laser, obviously laser is a big upgrade. The longevity of lasers, 20, we actually rate our projectors at 20,000 hours. So obviously longevity is huge. I know I mentioned the different scale with all the different settings of light output on our laser. So obviously if you're adjusting that as well, that's going to only increase the longevity of the projector if you're not maximizing the brightness the whole time. But with the warranty,
and one thing that's great with these lasers is you're actually maintaining that brightness all the way through the life of the unit.
Yes.
All my customers out there that still have the bulb projectors, as you've noticed over the years, your image is diminishing. Every hour that you're using it, you're getting a reduction in light output until you replace the bulb. With these lasers, you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. That's right. And I do want to mention, with the 3-year warranty, we actually have a 1-year advanced exchange warranty too, which is different from some of our competitors. So basically what that means is, if we have a projector within the first year, usually we work with Zach and Kellen very closely. So they call us if we have an issue, myself or one of our team members from JVC directly will work with them to try to resolve the problem. We obviously don't experience problems very often, but some of it's, connectivity issues, something with the HDMI, sometimes it's a source. But obviously if there's an issue specifically with the projector, we do an advanced exchange. So what that means for, your customers is, you guys, out there, that we ship a new projector to you within that first year. So another replacement projector, same model, obviously everything's the same. And then what we'll do is take that other unit that's not working properly, they'll put it in the box and then exchange it back. So it's, obviously it's a very seamless warranty replacement, but we want you guys to feel like, hey, I'm making an investment. JVC's got my back. So that's really what we're doing here with the first year advanced exchange. And then obviously outside of that, we definitely service it. Our service is very quick. We work with a great team to get, anything resolved as quickly as possible. So that's one of the other nice things about working with JVC.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. I've had to use that advanced replacement in the field a couple times, and it's always, the weekend's coming up. They got a big party planned, and there's, they have a problem. But yeah, the ability to receive the unit in a couple days, put the old one in the box and pop the new one up, reprogram in the same settings, and they're off to the races in an hour. I mean, that's just invaluable in certain circumstances. Like I said, if things go wrong, they always tend to go wrong on the weekends, right?
Yes. Right before a big party or Super Bowl when you're planning to bring everybody over. Yes. I see.
So you guys will get to enjoy that 3-year warranty. You can also purchase extended warranties for your entire system through Dreamedia whenever you buy a bundle.
Yes, I see this question, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure on this question, so I can't give you a straight answer right now. I know we do have low latency built into our projectors, so you can adjust that for different gaming aspects and things like that. But I don't know about the variable refresh rate.
What is the input lag on these models?
Let me look here. I wonder if I have that exact.
Kind of getting in the weeds a little bit.
Yeah, it's in the weeds. I know it's milliseconds. I know it's very, very
Yeah.
small, but I don't have it in front of me, Zach. Sorry. I'm trying to look here what
Probably
it
in
says.
the HDMI specifications section,
Yeah,
but I know you guys have always been good for gamers.
yes, and it's ideal. And I don't know if you guys, when you guys put all the new, I don't know if you have them posted yet, Zach. I apologize. I didn't look this morning, but we can post all of the assets here that Shane is sharing. So we do have our new brochure. It has much more fine details. We can get all the specifications posted as well. Our website, I should mention jvc.com is a huge asset. All of these new things that we're talking about today. I just had a team member chime in. It's 0.2 to 0.07 milliseconds. Thank you, Will. So
Awesome. Thanks, Will. That's
fast.
impressive.
Yes. So super fast. But yes, all of the fine-tooth details. Obviously, Kellen and his team, when they're speccing theaters, as he mentioned, have all of the information you guys would need. But if you want to get in the weeds, like Zach mentioned too, we have all of this stuff online. We do have different calculators. If you're like, hey, could I use a JVC in this space? You definitely can use the tools that jvc.com has as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like our web team already got it up on the Dreamedia site too for pre-order. If you guys want to get your orders in, the NZ900 and 800 is live on the website. I think one other thing that I just noticed as I was checking out the specifications of the unit, and a feature that maybe we skip over a lot is your home theater optimizer tool. Could you go over that a little bit? I think that's just a really valuable tool to help people get their, every theater is a little different. There's different gain on the screen, different lighting conditions to deal with, different throw. Can you talk about the theater optimizer a little bit?
Yeah, so Theater Optimizer is a new feature. It was actually brand new to projectors in general last year. So it was part of a new feature we incorporated in our previous generation. So Theater Optimizer is really awesome, Zach, because it actually allows you to pair your screen with our projector. So JVC has done a lot of testing, obviously with the big screen manufacturers that are out in the market. There's an array of them. So obviously we have all these screens essentially programmed in based on their gain, based on their aspect ratio, based on the type of material, right? Whether it's slate, whether it's, depending on the material that's being used. There's obviously a lot of different screens out there. Based on the environment, obviously different ones are needed. But what you can do with the Theater Optimizer is there's three different settings. You turn the Theater Optimizer on, and essentially you put in what the dimensions of the screen are. So the diagonal, right? Whatever the size is. So whether it's 100 inches, 150 inches, you put in the gain. So whether it's 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and then you also put in the aspect ratio. So whether we're working with a 16:9 screen, 235, and then the Theater Optimizer, actually it's built into the projector. When it's turned on, it's going to optimize the light output. It's going to optimize all the features within the actual projector. Sorry, my cat wants to join the call. So there's a lot of different features. And then that essentially, with all of those different points and things that you've put into the projector, it's actually going to optimize based on what you've set it at, the picture quality at the screen. And we do have, within that Theater Optimizer, there is a list on our website where we've actually programmed in specific numbers to correspond to specific types of screen, whether it's Stewart, whether it's Screen Innovations, whether it's Daylight, whether it's all these different brands. So if you don't want to manually it's not a lot of information, but if you don't want to manually put it all in, you could just grab whatever code's assigned to your screen and pop that in, turn Theater Optimizer on, and it's going to be optimized for the picture quality at the screen.
Absolutely incredible. I just love that feature for all my integrators out there. It makes your job quick and easy. You get onto a more advanced calibration fast, or our DIY customers. I mean, it's just a fantastic. I don't even want to say starting point because it does really well, but it's a great tool that you guys provide for free. Again,
Yes,
more
another
value.
enhancement. Yes,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
love
great
it.
too because when we ship our projectors, obviously we on the factory side, we're looking at what are the best settings, right? So when you get the projector, most cases it's all going to be set to the best settings, and if you put that, obviously if you specifically set it to auto, automatically our projectors are going to get whatever information is being pulled into them, the highest picture quality. And keep in mind, obviously we're working with native 4K chipset here, but if you have content that's maybe just HD 1080p, it's also going to upscale that content too. So that's even further enhanced when you're watching anything with JVC as well. So obviously, we're trying to continually work to just enhance that picture quality at the screen.
Fantastic.
Are there any plans for replacements for the 7 and the MP5?
Not on the roadmap just yet. We obviously are super excited about the 800 and 900. Shane, who knows what the future holds? Our engineers in Japan. I do want to mention too, all of our projectors are made in Japan as well. So manufactured, produced, shipped directly from Japan. So their team obviously is continuing to evolve. Obviously future down the road, I'm not sure what will happen. But ultimately, I mean, we do realize there are competitive products out in the marketplace at specific price points with specific technology. So it's not like we're not trying to make sure we're, staying competitive in the marketplace. So we'll have to just see what happens in the future here.
Well, we're really excited about these current models. Shane, do you have any more questions for Jamie, or do we have any comments? Good questions that we can throw her way?
Are the 8 and 9 discontinued, or how long are they going to still be for sale?
Yes. So the great thing is if you want to get in on a great opportunity to still see the best picture quality, obviously the 8 and the 9 are available still. We still have some out in the market currently. There are some really great savings. So if you want to maybe get the 8 or the 9, we're offering a $4,000 savings on the 8. So that's actually retailing currently for $11,999. And then the DLA-NZ9, which typically is the $25,999 projector, we have a $5,000 savings on. So that's actually going to be $20,999. Those promos are going to be obviously available until the product runs out, but we have those currently on promo through the end of June. So obviously, if you want to try to connect with the Dreamedia team and maybe
we have
one
that.
of those offers, you definitely can.
Yeah, we have that available on our website too. Again, limited supply, guys.
Limited supply,
but
correct.
we do have those units available, and you can see them on our website or call and reach out and speak with a specialist to get those savings. Again, even those models we can sell with confidence because they were ahead of the game then, and
Yes.
Obviously these new units are that much better. But you're not gonna be disappointed with the image
Correct.
quality of the NZ9.
Yes.
Any other questions, Shane?
I think we are good. I mean, listen, guys, I left a link in the video's comment section here if you guys want to put some pre-orders in. And, if you guys want to get the Shane Lee treatment, make sure you mention Shane Lee over to Kellen and Zach over there to get your pre-order in. And we're looking at what, June, you said? Possibly?
Yes, June. Yes. So target right now is probably the 4th week in June is hopefully when we'll have the new models available. Obviously, everything, it's in production right now. We're told things are on time. I want to knock on wood because that's how it goes. But hopefully, yes, June will be when we're expecting the new units to arrive. And I know we do have one model Zach is actually going to get to review. We have a couple samples, and Zach is one of our partners. So he's going to get to open up a 900 and see it and get some stuff out. So obviously, check out his YouTube channel too for some of the cool things to see the differences. I'm sure, obviously, You can compare them and see them, but yeah, he's going to be one getting the unit I actually have here next. So
I'm very excited to put that content out for you guys. We'll take a deep dive and really just spend some time checking it out, talking about it in more detail. And of course, you guys can drop comments down below and let me know any questions you have. We'll make sure to answer any and all questions.
Yes, exactly. So perfect. I really appreciate you guys putting this together for us, allowing JVC to participate, allowing us to share our new model information with you guys. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Customers out there, if you guys are interested in purchasing anything home theater related, reach out today for a free video consultation with one of our specialists. Dreamedia has integrators in 28 different states to help you put it in. You can also shop on our online store. Well, that's all I got for you. I really appreciate everybody's support. Thanks, Shane, for having us on today. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yes, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Later, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.
All right, Dreamedia family, that is a wrap on the introduction of the brand new JVC NZ800 and the NZ900. These are going to be absolutely incredible units. If the JVCs weren't already simply amazing, I don't know what to say. These things are going to be incredible. As soon as we get our hands on them, guys, we're going to be giving you detailed reviews as well as installing these in customers' home theaters and giving you their thoughts and opinions on the performance of the product. Dreamedia does sell everything that you need for your home theater, from amplifiers, speakers, projectors, the whole 9 yards. You give us a call, we're nationwide, and we would love the opportunity to earn your business. We have installers in 28 different states who can also help you get the heavy lifting done. So reach out today for a free video consultation with one of our specialists. If you like this video, be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button down below for more. Till next time, this is Zach with Dreamedia Home Theater. Thank you for watching.